So far this year, I've struggled categorically with my driver. So much so, I've put the TaylorMade R7 mini driver in play, and I'm not going to lie to you, it's been an absolute game changer. I've loved using this driver, and I go as far as saying it's one of the only clubs that is safe in my bag this year. However, I'm a typical golfer, and I want to improve on this club. So I've come to the best place in the world, SGGT. Perfect. Jordan, how are you, mate?
Good to see you.
Very good. That was another very good high five. But Jordan, this is, I think, the best golf club of 2025, maybe ever. I absolutely love it. I love the walk down memory lane every time I look at the head cover. That's really, really cool. But then I think if we can fit this, because this wasn't fitted, this is just off the rack. Yeah. Now, off the rack is okay, but fitted is always better, isn't it? It's always going to be potentially better performing. So I'm in your capable hands, Jordan.
Perfect. Again, I think we've had a little look at a shaft in I think it was in the Burner Mini before.
Yeah.
Again, we'll just see what we can do with this. It might need a slightly different product, a slightly different shaft going into it. We can have a little play around with the weights.
Even the weights in the loft, because last time I came with the mini driver fitting, it was a case of I'd lofted it too far down, and realistically I needed the launch, didn't I? We have four-way adjustable weights in here as well now, which can obviously help as well.
We'll see what we can do.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's interesting, guys, as well, because TaylorMade and all the brands that make mini drivers don't just kind of throw a random generic shaft in there and hope for the best. They actually go through quite a lot of R&D and they work out what weight works best for this shaft or for this head even, and what torsional stiffness and things like that. So we've done quite a lot of fittings here, and you know my specs probably as well as anyone, yourself and Lawrence combined. But if we look at a couple of different shafts in here, could I maybe squeeze out a couple more yards? Could I maybe get that dispersion in a little bit?
Again, I think you could definitely get a bit of both. I think the key thing really with this kind of club is always going to be dispersion. Yeah. Right, that's always the thing with a mini driver is you always are sacrificing a bit of length over the driver, so we may as well win at what we're trying to win at.
And that's one of the things I found. So without boring you guys to tears, I played golf the other day, 18 holes, card in hand against our friend Gary, my friend Gary, Bob's friend Gary. But I played average front nine. I was 2 over par front nine. We weren't filming, I was just enjoying the game of golf. But I was hitting driver a little bit left, a little bit right, missing fairways, and it was a bit scrappy. I put this in play on the back nine. I thought, I'm not hitting a driver on the back nine, I'm just hitting this. I hit every fairway, parred every hole, beating by about 6 shots. Okay. So realistically that's the club that allows me to do that. Okay. If we can squeeze it out a little bit more, can we get further down that fairway a little bit, still hit the fairways, which is the primary goal, maybe hit it then close to the flag and hole it and beat him by 7.
We'll see.
Right.
Is there a particular tee height you normally use with the driver?
White's fine. Yeah.
White's perfect.
White's
ideal.
Yeah.
Ideal.
See, that's the optimum shot where I've not really got it. It's a little bit heely. It's an okay flight. It's a little bit low, but it's pretty much doing everything that I want it to do. It's carrying 240, releasing out quite nicely. Like realistically from there, if I'm not on it with my game, that's the tee shot I want to hit. Because 260 yards, you're not going to have the courses we play. Like I don't play off the tour tees, we're going to play off the white tees probably if we're playing a members golf course. That's absolutely fine, isn't it?
And are you thinking of this more at the moment as a driver replacement?
Yes, absolutely, yeah. Oh, that's a high toe, but it's still in play.
So what do you think to kind of the sound of this one when you're out in the golf course?
I really like it. I feel like when I hit it good, this sounds ridiculous, but you know when people say, oh, that sounded nice, and you kind of agree with them, like, yeah, that did sound really, really nice, didn't it? Like even looking at those numbers there, that's up there with, fair enough, it's carried like 246, but total numbers.
Total numbers, I mean, you're still at a 275, right?
Yeah. Where
would you be expecting a good driver to be for you? Would you be sort of 290, 300, or are you?
275, 280.
Cool. It's good, that.
Yeah. And that's the one where I've just kind of middled it. Probably won't go as far as that last one because it was a bit higher, but it'll pitch a bit further.
250 carry in at 265. It's nice. How often do you see each shot? Like if you're on a golf course, what are you actually seeing on the hole in terms of the ball flight?
The way I'm working them again, I'm trying to see more of a draw, which is difficult to do with a club path going that far left. But visually, if I see that, I generally hit it a little bit straighter. So like just that little bit of a kind of fade. Okay,
perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep you in the shaft you've got in at the moment, and we'll just see how we can change the weights and the sort of settings on here just to try and see if we can move.
And it's interesting, so at the moment, I've just got the heavyweights forward, so I'm trying to bring that CG obviously close to the face and bring, well, CG close to the face, bring MOI down. Yeah. But realistically, could there be something with the 4-way adjustment that obviously can help me?
Massively. And I think The other thing as well is it's always interesting of no matter what skill level you're at, whoever you are, you're always going to be adjusting to the golf club.
Yeah.
So you've told me you're looking to hit more of a drawing golf shot.
But I've not set it in the draw.
But you've not set it to try and do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to loft this down a touch to bring the spin down as you were looking for, but then move the weights to try and actually square that shot up for you a little bit more. Again, that last one that you can see on the screen now, it's, I wouldn't be displeased with that, but you can definitely see that little bit of fade on there.
And especially for me, if I'm in that scenario of, right, we're playing in the Stableford, playing with my friends, the front nine's not really gone to plan. Oh, all of a sudden I've hit a fairway. I've hit another fairway. Yeah, I'm 5-10 yards behind my playing partners, but I'm in the fairway again. I've got a chance at getting on the green, and that's where I really wanted to maybe try and fine-tune this a little bit.
Yes.
I know what everyone's screaming. James, go and get a lesson. I've had lessons. I'm trying, okay? I'm trying.
It takes time as well, though, doesn't it? You can't.
It does if you don't practice and you've got a 2-year-old at home. Yeah,
it does. Like, again, it's all good. I always say, if I turned up to try and pass my last GCSE and I had one lesson, I wouldn't expect to do very well.
Yeah.
But it's once you
I know you're thinking, Bob, and yes, I did pass my last GCSE, so thank you very much.
So all I've done here is I've set this 2 clicks towards lower from the standard slide, which is it's making the club slightly more upright, and it is lowering the loft. The face will look a little bit more open. But then I've also just moved where the weights are in the head, so we've now got everything in the most draw bias position.
Maybe that actually feels different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still see that bit of fade. Did that feel like it went a little straighter than what you were expecting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. See, club head speed, I'm not losing a lot. Like my club head speed with a normal drive is probably 106, 107.
Okay. But it's also, right, like the club's shorter, so your potential is less.
Yeah.
Right? Because again, the head is further away from your hands with a driver, which just means, however fast you move your head, with it being farther, it's a lever system, it's going to travel quicker. But if you feel more comfortable at this mass, you might physically put more power in and move the club in a better way. Like even that on there, James, you've just stepped it up and got yourself at nearly 106.
To be honest, you gave me some confidence with what you were saying.
Really so all of a sudden, actually, like the face has got more closed. The path has stayed quite similar to where you were, but the face has closed more, meaning you've hit more of a pull. Right? So all it's done is where that shot beforehand would have sort of started here and then moved just right at the target line. We've just kind of kept it down that left-hand side. So again, I would say if on a golf course you're someone where you fear missing left, that's...
I do, very much.
And that's the issue. That's further away from where we want to be. Because actually, yes, it's giving you a straighter, more draw-like golf shot, but it's actually pulling you closer to the miss where you don't want to see it. And this is always the interesting thing of I've got to find out what you're after. Because you've told me you want to see it go more left. I've made it happen. And all I've seen is you get it wrong, that's going to go further left. So now it's okay, what else can we do to try? Because that's, again, it's a good shot, right?
But also I feel like
255 carry to 280 with mini driver. Be interesting to see if we change shaft a little bit, whether we can keep the head to keep it a little bit straight. Maybe with shaft we can stop that from starting as far left.
Oh, that'd be nice.
So ultimately, if we can get that starting a little bit straighter, I think then you'll get the best of both worlds.
Is that you saying we're going to put the other shaft in?
It is.
So have you fitted many mini drivers, Jordan? Because you can see the array of drivers behind us that you've been fitting this year. We've seen the Titleist GT280, we've seen a couple of other mini drivers. I personally think the R7's like a standout in that category. I feel like TaylorMade have been smashing it for years, not only with those trips down memory lane with the names like Burner, with the names like R7, but I feel like with the technology in the heads, they have really, especially with the 4-way adjustment. I thought they'd smashed it with the 2-way adjustment with the Burner. But I feel like with this, it's really done well.
I think it's been like, the adjustment on this has been amazing. I think throughout the year, we've had the Elite Mini Driver in, we've had your R7 quad, and then we've got the GT280, and they've all definitely had their place.
I was disappointed with the Elite, to be fair.
I think the thing I would say with the Elite is, with the R7 quad compared to the Elite, they're very different. I find that this works better as a driver replacement. It's quite a lot lower spinning comparative to the Elite. So, again, I can talk about my dad, but my dad's actually got the Elite Mini Driver. And he also has an AI Smoke Triple Diamond Max driver. The reason he's got the Elite is purely that he struggles a bit with 3 woods off the tee, and the Elite goes shorter than what this does. So if he had the R7 quad and his driver, he wouldn't really have a reason to have one over the other. So I just got to get this now on the Pure alignment.
When we say Pure, I know what we're talking about now. So, because it's round here, I saw it earlier. So each shaft has a spine. And you can see here that if I was just to show you a shaft there, that would be visual what it would look like. But the spine of it is here. So essentially what we want, and I think I'm saying this right, Jordan will tell me if I'm saying it wrong, we want that shaft to play level with it here.
No, opposite way.
That way?
So
you want it level with it here?
So what that's actually doing is effectively when you're looking at a product, so if I was just to show you this here, so this is sort of looking down the line at a graphite shaft. That's what you would see if you were looking. It's quite a thick-walled product. This in particular is quite a thick-walled product that I've picked off the wall. Now what we're looking at is any imperfections in how the layers of graphite are rolled together. So it's not something you'll visually see, but it will lead to part of this product being a little bit stiffer than the rest. So we have a machine that effectively will find that most stable edge, which is what James' stick here is trying to show. So with that line being on that line, you can imagine that spine would then line up with the face. So that as that product wants to move, all of the products wanting to move across its efficient line. It should, again, in terms of what we would expect to see, just a little bit easier for you to find the middle of the head, square the face up more consistently.
Effectively, a really simple way of putting it is if I release this here, you can see how it's not really moving, but if I was to release it there,
you can see it moving around.
You can see it moving massively.
And obviously, that's got aerodynamics involved. There's a lot of things that this has that your golf shaft doesn't. This just gives us a representation of what it is offering, because it's quite a hard thing to see, just on this shaft.
Yeah, but you don't get that everywhere, Bob, do you?
And obviously, again, for us with puring, we get all of our demo shafts pured, just so it's another thing we can do from a tolerance standpoint, just to make sure that the golf club you try is as close to the same as the golf club that you get as we can. We're living in a world of tolerance. We just want to take everything that we can away just to keep things consistent.
Very good. Right then. So exact same head settings, just Acura GX, which is basically the shaft that we've done a lot of fitting with, isn't it?
A lot of fitting with, and again, we'll see what this does for you.
Interesting how it feels totally different. Yeah.
Obviously, this is now a 70-gram product. Yeah. So there's, the weight in itself is going to be different. Again, it might be that we've probably likely changed the balance point there as well. So it's one of those that's going to make quite a big change to how the club feels.
See, I think we maybe need to go lighter here. I feel like I'm really trying to overwork it.
Okay. Do you feel like that's a little bit because that's what you're used to it feeling like?
Potentially, yeah. I mean, still numbers there, 260, not bad at all. Cool. But obviously we've pulled it a bit, and I do feel like that's, with it being heavier, I'm almost trying to get out of the way of it. That's the draw that you said you wanted to see. Yeah. It's just started too far left. Yeah, and slightly toey as well, which is helping.
That's part of why it's come up, right? Like it's mainly the toe shot that's done that. And again, that's where, this is how draw bias head works at the end of the day. As you move the mass towards the heel, you make that toe strike act like a bigger toe strike. Yeah. Hence why probably actually in the settings you've had before, that would have flown a little bit straiter rather than it missing that little bit left. Yeah. But it's interesting there that, swapping shaft has made quite a big change to the ball flight. I wouldn't have said that was necessarily a big improvement over where we were to start with. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop a Ventus Blue 6X in. So we're going to drop the weight down, as you mentioned, you feel like that's where you want to be. As you do that with the Ventus product, the sort of weight and flex are combined together. Mm-hmm. So the lighter products do come out a little bit softer, hence why I'm just going to take that flex up a smidge. And again, just to try and help prevent that from going a little bit left on you. And we'll just see what it does. Yeah. Interesting how the weight plays such a role in the stiffness of the shaft as well, isn't it? So many people would just think, right, I'm an extra stiff and then I'm a 60 or a 70 or an 80 gram, whereas different shafts react totally differently. Totally. And also, certain manufacturers such as, with the Acura GX, just something we've been speaking about, the sort of 270 M4, which would be your green that we've been using, the 70 gram, and the 250 M4 are the same flex. Yeah. So between the weights, they are the same because they've been engineered that way. Yeah. However, when you're looking at something like a Ventus Blue, the way they're adding the weight is just by adding physical weight to the product. So with that, you're getting extra mass and extra sort of thickness of material, which then will increase the stiffness. Yeah. Whereas, other brands and different people do things differently. So it's not always the case that that's the way, but it can be, which is why, again, it's really important to come and try things so you get what you're actually looking for from the club, rather than just what you think you need. Okay. This reminds me of back in the day, because when I had the R7, I had it with a graphite blue shaft. So it's like a very similar look and feel. I know that means nothing to a lot of people, but if we're thinking of memory lane and all the feelings it brings. Very similar flight again. Yeah. Again, perfect flight, just started a little bit left, didn't it? It's interesting where with your head it looked like we needed the weight, with your shaft,
Yeah.
Looked like we needed the weight in the heel.
Yeah.
Both of the shafts I've given you, you've squared the sort of face to your path a lot easier.
Yeah.
Suddenly it's looking like actually we can move that weight a little bit more central again.
Yeah. That's nice, isn't it?
Really nice. You seem more comfortable with that weight.
Yeah, 100%. I could tell as soon as we put the heavier shaft in that it was going to be a little bit of an effort, which I feel like if this is the club you're using, you don't want the effort, you want to
Just to be nice.
autopilot it, don't you? But certainly I feel like the lower shots give me the best results with distance.
Totally. Yeah, it's definitely wanting to take you on that left-hand side. So let's I'm going to put the weights back to how you had them initially, and then we'll start to see how that feels.
275 is the longest one yet, but again, if you look there, Bob, it's just wanting to start more on that left side, isn't it? 155 ball speed though, like that it works that head, doesn't it?
It's quick.
You'd say that's almost the optimum ball flight. I know it's leaking a touch right, but it's a kind of better all-round launch, isn't it?
Sounded good.
Yeah, that was better.
That was, put the speed in a little bit more there, got you back up at that 155 ball speed. Really nice. Definitely see those weights pulling the ball flight more to the right.
Mm-hmm. Where do you think we are with it then? Do you think the standard shaft probably does work quite well in this?
I think standard shaft for you is pretty close.
Yeah.
What I'd actually be quite interested to do is just to change the grip.
Okay.
So I want to see if we can actually just make the grip a little bit thicker, just to actually see if that then allows us to have the weight in a place where you release the head, but hopefully not too much, and just see again another way as to what we can do. Again, it's something we do a lot for clients here, is just being able to sort of see whether grip does make a difference on performance as well.
Okay. So it's not just picking the colour of the grip.
It's a little bit more than that.
Taking it all in. Do you get me picking my nose then as well?
Yep.
Perfect. Buzzing. Right. What we got?
Right then, James. So what I've done there is I've just...
That was very quick, by the way.
Yes. So out the back in our workshop, there's a bit of work being done at the moment, so I just want to show you this, but we've got an air compressor. Yep. So all of our grips are just put on with rather than being put on with double-sided, they're put on with masking tape, which just means with a bit of air, we can blow a grip off, blow a new one on, and it's good to use straight away.
Right.
So this is a multi-compound +4 grip I've put on here.
Yeah.
So again, slightly different texture. The main difference is just it's thicker in the bottom hand, and it'll be really interesting to see if that affects that start line at all. So again, move the settings back to where we had it, where we're seeing more of that leftward shot. Yeah. Be interesting to see what we can do from here.
So effectively, when you have a thicker grip, a little bit more difficult to release the hands on it. So
in theory. Yeah. Right? But the thing that's always interesting is that I've seen people in the past where they might hold the grip a little bit too tightly in their left hand, so it might almost cause them to drag the club a little bit, which would leave the face open. You give them a thicker grip in the bottom hand, they then use the bottom hand more and release it, so it can do everything. It's just a case of finding out what happens.
Subjective.
It is. You can't just say it's going to go thicker, it's going to go right, which I think lots of people have come in for fittings expecting to be the case.
It's the straightest shot we've hit all day.
I just need new grips, James. How was that for strike? Was that just a smidgen toey?
Yeah. But again, it's one of those where on the course, I'm absolutely over the moon with that. I'm picking the tee up, I'm moving on, probably a couple of yards behind everyone else, but realistically, it's in play.
So again, just coming back to the numbers on what you were hitting a second ago.
Yeah.
If you want to, what we basically need to do is just drop that dynamic loft a little bit to find the optimal result.
Right.
If you just pop that ball a little bit further back in your stance and just feel like you do that yourself, let's just see what happens.
Tell you what, on demand that, wasn't it?
It's lower.
I really enjoyed that as a ball flight. I'm not going to shank a driver, Bob. He ain't going to stand over there. You never know. Cowering for his life.
I'll tell you what.
A little bit toey, but again, I really don't mind it. They've all been straighter, haven't they, with that grip?
I was going to say, what I like from that is that suddenly we're not looking like we're going to go left.
Yeah.
It'd be quite interesting, actually, just to see from a dispersion standpoint where everything's standing at the moment, because I actually, again, I'm not massively disliking yours. Like, as you first came in, effectively what we've done is, you can see this white circle, which was the standard shaft with James sitting it. We've then moved in and changed the settings. We got the ball flight a little bit straighter, which you can kind of see on the right-hand side there when we're comparing that to some of the others. But again, it's more your influence that you're making on the golf club.
Could that be because I've used it all year in that shaft and I feel at home in it? Is there
potentially? There's definitely a case in there. I think there's one other thing I'm quite interested just to have a go with, which I'm just going to go back to your shaft and just have a little another play around with the weights and see what we can do.
Really enjoyed this because I think coming and dispelling, oh, if I put a better shaft in there, it's going to necessarily go better, is part of the journey to hitting the best shots. What we're doing here, we're measuring got swing weight on.
Yeah, so just checking where that is, just so if I'm going to add a little bit of mass, I just want to sort of talk you through where the differences are and we'll go from there. So again, obviously with the TaylorMade, you've got some adjustable weights that we can stick on here.
Oh, this is what we've come to see.
So what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to add 4 grams of mass into the head.
Yeah.
Again, we'll be able to show you how that changes on the swing weight scale and see where we go. So what we again started to see earlier is just that we could get it going a little bit left. Ultimately, the way I always kind of describe swing weight in a simple case, just for people to understand, is firstly, if say this came out at D6, it does not mean that every golf club in your bag needs to be D6. It's all relative to the components that we're using, so they'll all feel different. Now, what's always interesting is the way going back to where I was, the way I would describe the swing weight. If you have a heavier swing weight, I'd always kind of describe that as having the golf club in front of you and then you swinging the head. So that would be a heavier swing weight. You can physically feel that head and it doesn't really want to pass your hands too much. If we swap it over, hold at the head end, and you do this, you'll feel how the grip naturally wants to pass by my hands a lot easier. So, there will always be a point where the club just gets too heavy. But, I see a lot of people who might hit a draw bias driver. They might then get some lead tape, whack it into the heel, trying to get it to go further left. And actually all they're doing is naturally making the head want to drag behind them more. And actually could be causing more of a fading shot than they would be if they'd almost just taken the weight out. And as I say, it's all about how you react. So again, just to check this on here now, so just Bobby can have a look. So as we saw earlier, we're at D4.5, just set that back to 0, and then sit that one on there. And we're now up at D7. So quite a big change there by adding those 4 grams in. But yeah, we'll see what happens. And again, I've just popped that into this front toe section. So we've now got both weights, both 13 gram weights in the heel, a 4 gram at the back, and then an 8 gram at the front here. And we'll see what this does for you. Obviously, back in your shaft, again, you look fairly comfortable with this.
So. And it goes back to what we said right at the start of the video. There's a lot of R&D going to what shaft to put in these heads, isn't there? Straighter. I could feel that weight straight away because it's a bit of a toey strike, actually. That's done really well, though, for the strike.
Again, all of a sudden that dispersion's got wider. It's not that you can't hit a good shot, but it suddenly looks like you've got to work it. So why don't we go the opposite way?
Okay. Like the distance is really good. That's probably the best shot I've hit, really.
Yeah, again, it's pretty straight. That's what, 15 yards left of target, so you're left edge of a fairway. 250 carry out to 280. It's right up there for distance. It's just that suddenly it looks like you are going to have to manipulate the club more yourself. And that's the opposite of what I want to see. I want it to feel natural rather than feeling like you're really working the golf club. So all I'm going to do is the weight we had at the back, that 13 gram, I'm going to drop that one down rather than doing the opposite way.
Okay.
Perfect. So just drop that down to D3.2. So we're taking about a swing weight off. So we added quite a bit on initially, didn't work as well. Now I've taken a little bit of swing weight away from you there. Again, to see how this feels, hopefully it brings that consistency a little bit better and we'll go from there.
Right backswing that way. It's still done okay, that, to be fair.
Can you feel that change again?
Yeah. You can see that one just like... I don't particularly mind that one that just wants to work ever so slightly right.
Again, I think for you actually just that standard
that's
swing
the
weight
shot,
that
isn't it?
the standard swing weight that we had it at, again being that D4.5 where you had it, was better. We've gone too light. Suddenly it looks like you can't quite feel where the golf club is. You're kind of pulling down the club and it's disappearing, and it looks like that's meaning you're not feeling like you can release the club as much, and we're seeing it go right. I said what should happen in terms of where we swung that club head and then grip end, but actually for you, we're not seeing everything I'd expect to happen because you're, again, adjusting to the club. And I just think that kind of standard spot's working well, again.
I think we nailed it, taking a little bit of loft off and then moving the weight slightly there. And I think that was a really nice position to be in, especially looking at the kind of dispersions we've got up there. Because dispersion's the main thing here. We can talk about 10 yards here and 5 yards there and stuff, but realistically, if we can keep them all around that 275 number in the middle of the fairway.
That's exactly what we're after.
I don't want to lose that, do I? As soon as I lose that, then I've lost the club that has helped me keep the ball in play and ultimately play better golf.
Did they do a purple one of these?
Yes. There's a purple Oban shaft.
Grow up, Bob.
Just wants purple, doesn't it?
Do they do this in purple?
Yeah, something called a Kyoshi purple.
It's like being a guy. Do they do this in purple?
I was just.
Jordan's here giving us an absolute masterclass of a fitting, and you've hit him with, do they do this in purple?
Yeah, because I thought I'd imagined it all.
Oh, Bob. Do you do this in purple? This is what you're up against, isn't it?
Shut up.
So, perfect. So we're now back pretty much to where we started. We've got the loft set down 2 clicks lower from where we were, but we've now got those weights back at the front as where we first started, where we were seeing the most sort of consistency.
It's been a really interesting journey, that, and I do think I'm going to put a thicker grip on this as well, because I felt like that helped me square the face up.
I think the key thing there, as I said, it's not necessarily thicker overall, it's just that we want the bottom hand thicker. So you could take that grip off, we could put a few extra layers of tape under that, for example, or it could be getting something like that multi-compound +4 that we tried on there.
Yeah.
And I think the key thing, it helped with that one that went left.
Yeah.
So I think that just meant that you could commit to it a little bit more. We certainly saw clubhead speed go up a little bit with that.
And then I feel like changing the loft and the lie angle has been quite a big thing as well. See, even that as a bad one's absolutely fine.
The thing that's interesting, James, obviously, we've seen you before with the Copper Mini.
Yeah.
And at that point, you were telling me you don't want this to be a driver replacement.
Yeah.
So we've added loft onto the golf club to spin it more and keep it consistent.
Yeah.
But now you're at a point you're like, well, actually, I want this to be a driver. So actually, closer to how you would have had that is closer to where we actually want it to be.
I think I've grown up a little bit, really. We've grown. But 280 yards out on a toe strike, which...
Yeah, and it's just because of the toe strike, with the face growing up more, we've seen the spin drop.
And then again, we're back to that lovely, real low bullet flight that's going to keep me in play and keep the scores
Again,
left.
that one, great one to finish on.
That's the best of the day.
And again, like looking at that, key thing is those 2 shots, you're still looking at the same half of the fairway there.
Yeah.
Which is really key. We've just got that distance moved down considerably for you.
So guys, there we go. Quite an in-depth mini driver fitting. We've gone around the houses, you could say, but come out with what I feel like is a really nice, positive, even small change. We'll get some tape in the lower hand, and I think there we're cooking on gas.
Yeah, spot on.
Jordan, thank you very much for your time. Guys, if you want to book in here at SGGT, then the link will be below. But apart from that, do you do it in purple?